Hi, guys, and welcome. We're glad you're here with us tonight. We are still allowing people in the room, so just give us just a second. Okay. So we're so glad everybody's here tonight, and we're going to talk about lessons or secrets to transformation. So it's things that we've seen that have worked with people just that have made a difference in just maybe sometimes it's just little tweaks of things that have made a difference in your weight loss or in your health journey. So, does anybody want to share a win for the week? It can be physical or non-physical.
I'll share.
Okay.
So I would say for the last couple of years, due to an injury, I have somewhat let cardio go. And I know that it's also good for my heart. And I feel like I need to do at least a little every week. And so I've started training to do a 5K.
Yeah, and it's thank you for sharing that. It's kind of hard because I think the last race I did was a half marathon with you. So it kind of sometimes seems like you're just really going backwards when you're starting over, but that is something that you have to train for. And I did the same thing. I had a medical situation that took me out of running, and I just have not been able to get back in. And um, I also started this week, and that's been a big deal. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes, you need a buddy system, a
Yeah,
community.
it was always so easy when we lived next door to each other because it was fun to run together, and it's lonely when you're running, and we're going to talk about that in a little while. It's
Yes, we
lonely,
are.
and yeah, it's just not as much fun. So we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to attempt to share my screen. Hopefully this is going to go the way that I want it to. Can you
I see
see
it.
that?
I see it.
Okay, cool. Okay. So we're gonna, like I said, we're talking about lessons or secrets to transformation. And I'm just gonna spoiler alert for you really quick. There's no magic pill. There's no hack. You just gotta put your head down and do the work. But let's go ahead and get started.
So, the first thing that we're talking about is focusing on simplicity. So, don't get distracted by shiny objects and going this way, going that way. And something to relate it to is like in your relationship, like you stay focused on your partner, your significant other. You're not focusing on everybody else and other people because that may not go over so well. So you stay focused on what you're doing, just as in business, you stay focused on business. And so the same applies to fitness and nutrition. So you want to have a healthy blueprint and stay focused on your goals. And in our, case, that is, we're providing a nutrition plan and focused workouts and a community. So that is your healthy blueprint to help get you where you want to be. Sometimes things can seem boring and redundant, but that boring, redundant, repetitive stuff is what brings success because consistency is compounding when it comes to work and it will bring you the result that you want. So, that boring, laborious thing that you do over and over, though it may seem like it's redundant, it's the consistency of doing that thing over and over that's going to bring you that result that you're after. So just continue to show up and do the work, stay focused, try to make it fun if you can, because then it, brings a little life to it, whatever that looks like for you. Maybe having some fun, upbeat music to listen to. But I would say just show up, stay focused, and get it done. And that's what's going to bring you closer to your goals.
Yeah, and like we were talking about just a minute ago, it was always so much easier. We met each other every morning and we would have our runs already planned, and it made it fun because we could go out and, knock off 7 miles and talk and laugh and just, have a good time. And it's just not as much fun if you have to go and do that by yourself. It is very boring. But the upbeat music does help. I agree completely with that one. So it's, as Kelly just talked about, it's the consistency of the simple actions. They compound over time. So, and a good example of this is if you want to have healthy teeth, you brush your teeth every day. You don't wait and brush your teeth for an hour at the end of the week. It's a continual thing that you do to keep in that state of cleanliness. And so for if we want to be healthy, we need to focus on our nutrition. We need to eat the whole food, and not overeat. That's the important thing. Is it's a constant thing in your life. It's not something that you can do just occasionally and it have the magic power. That's not how that happens. So, and we have to move our bodies. Um, we know that the exercise is so important to to keep our bones strong and to keep us with the ability to walk and to pick up things and to go grocery shopping. I can remember when our mom would struggle trying to buy the Thanksgiving meal because it had gotten to the point that she just didn't have any muscles and she would have to get someone to get the food and load it in her car, and then we would have to unload it when she got home. And I didn't put that together at the time, but now that as I'm learning and as I know these things, it all becomes very clear to me how important it is that we move and we don't just sit at our desk or whatever that looks like.
So another important component of all of this is to manage your expectations. So it can be, you may come into the program thinking, I have to lose 50 pounds. And though that whatever you may have a big goal set in the future, I think it's important, and that's okay, to have a longer term goal. But what will help you stay focused and bring success is to set those micro goals. So this month, my goal is to lose 4 pounds. We're not going to drop 20 pounds in a month. That's just reality. But you can lose 4 pounds. So, and that consistency will keep compounding. Like you're still, focusing, doing the work. You're losing 4 pounds a month, then it's 8 pounds, and it just that consistency just keeps rolling. So we're going to set micro goals and focus on those. We're going to live and love the journey. And we're going to celebrate the small accomplishments along the way because it's really important to celebrate the progress that you're making. I mean, you can't be down on, oh, I only lost 4 pounds when I have 50 pounds to lose. 4 pounds is great. It's great progress, and we want to celebrate that. So it's not like I will be happy when question mark, you fill in the blank. It's the journey of who you become along the way that makes you happy, that you're going to, along this way of doing this, become the best version of yourself. So when you do reach the end of that and you look back, you're going to see all those accomplishments that you've done throughout the journey. So it's really important that we're going to focus on one step at a time. And that's how we can manage our expectations.
Well, that just makes me think, Kelly, about when I started my journey, I never ever dreamt that I would get to where I am. I, I can remember thinking, oh, if I could just get to that number, I'll probably never ever see that number again, And so when you hit those numbers, it's just it's such a satisfying thing that it's a step along the journey. And so that's just such a timely message. I love that. So this one is the hard one for a lot of people is don't beat yourself up. Be kind and learn from your mistakes. That little boy that just makes me laugh. So, if you fall off and you eat something or you go and binge for a day or whatever it is, if you skip your workouts or you don't beat yourself up over it. You win the next meal, you win the next workout. You don't wait to get back on track. And I love it when you think about if it was your child or your grandchild that or your husband or your best friend that made a mistake, what do you say to them? And that's how you need to be to yourself. Because beating yourself up over it doesn't change what happened. You have to just pick it up and go and move on to the next opportunity.
Okay, and next we're going to talk about behavior modification.
Okay.
So, such an
Sorry.
important part of the journey. So, how many times do we hear experts proclaim that this is the perfect path? Like you need to do this, this, and this. And it just becomes overwhelming and too stressful. So we need to take it in and modify and do what we can. So, for example, here's a good example. Experts say you need to get 10,000 steps a day, but maybe currently you're getting 2,000 steps a day. And in your head, you're thinking, oh my gosh, I'm only getting 2,000. How will I ever make it to 10,000? It's such a big stretch. So focus on improving weekly. Again, it's the micro goals that we talked about previously. That's how you're going to get better. So focus on, okay, you're doing 2,000 now. Maybe you do 2,500 next, or maybe you can do 3,000 and you start just progressing until you meet the overall goal. Progress over perfection, baby. That's what we say. You need to make good progress and don't be so hard on yourself that you have to have perfection. None of us are perfect. None of us are perfect. So another modification to do is to work on tracking what you're eating, especially if you're stuck. If you're stuck in a place that you're not the scale's not moving or you're not feeling it in your clothes, you need to track what you're eating so we can make the appropriate changes. It's okay to stray from the plan if you do, but keep tracking. Don't let that one event like, oh, I'm not going to track what I'm eating today because I know, what I'm going to have for lunch is not going to be on the plan or whatever. No, keep tracking and don't let that one thing throw off your entire day or your week. So that's really important. Do your best and forget the rest. Win the next meal. That's what I say.
I second that. So we need to train evenly. So what does that mean? So and this applies to me and my personality, and I can also say that it applies to Kelly because we talk about this all the time. Um, so it's better to do less workouts and to be consistent than to do more workouts inconsistently. So like you need to be consistent with your workouts. You don't have to chase all the extra things. So, if you decide, oh, well, there's a yoga class down the street, I'm going to go do that, and then I'm going to go do this, and then I'm going to go do that, you're going to overtrain your body that week, and then that's going to affect you the next week. If you have extra time, I'm going to say go do some meal prep. That's always a great use of time. It's not bad. Go just take a walk because what you're doing is the exercise plan that we give you is going to work it's going to evenly work your body, which is what we want to do. We want an overall body workout instead of, you know, spending our time just chasing again the shiny objects. So if you throw in those extra things, you're going to be more tired, and that's going to change your energy expenditure. And I love that training builds the body and nutrition reveals it. You cannot outrun a bad diet. So a lot of times you'll hear people say, "Oh, I run because I like to eat cookies." It just doesn't work that way. That's not how your body is. You can run yourself ragged trying to do that. If you want to go out and just go out and take an extra walk, or that's fine, but don't try to train yourself into the ground. There's a lot of people that what we call are skinny fat. So they're skinny. You look at them and you think that they've got their nutrition and that they've got their health down, and then there's just a lot of people that have major health issues, but you wouldn't know by looking at them from the outside. So we have to be consistent and train evenly, make sure that our nutrition is dialed in. You keep hearing us say the word nutrition in this call because it's the food. It's always the food. So tracking your food, training evenly, making sure that you're taking care of you, that you are doing your best and forgetting the rest is going to pay off in the end for you.
I'll also add to that what I always say is quality over quantity.
Mhm.
So you want it to be
Yes.
a quality workout instead of, four halfway workouts, three quality workouts put you in a better place. Okay. And now we want to be aware of our nutrition. So, what we've learned is that those people who struggle most with nutrition that get better over time, they learn to be more present when they're making decisions. So, I want to do a little exercise real quick. So, I had it that we were going to close our eyes and take 5 deep breaths, but we'll do three. Okay. So, I want everybody to close their eyes, take 5 deep breaths, just breathe in, breathe out. I like to put my hand on my heart too. I feel like it just makes a body connection. And when you breathe in, I want you to be aware of your surroundings, smell the smells around you. Okay, so just with that short exercise, do you feel more relaxed?
Too.
Are you in a more relaxed state? If so, then you are more likely to make better choices and decisions. So, when it comes time to make a choice or a decision about food, take a few seconds before making that choice. Um, Human nature is, we're at a restaurant and we're scanning the menu. We're going to look for the easiest, fast choice, but that's not always necessarily the healthiest. So just have an awareness about you to where you consider the best option. Ask yourself, what's the healthiest decision for me right now? Look for the best options and make a decision. And the more we do it, the better we become at it. But if you feel yourself in a place that you're about to make a bad decision about health, and again, none of us are perfect. I'm not perfect. Please don't expect me to be perfect because I will never meet that expectation. I mean, it's just none of us are perfect, but it's good to have an awareness about you so you can make healthier, better choices. So if you feel yourself about to make a bad decision, stop and take a few deep breaths. Take in the area around you and then ask yourself, what is the best choice for me right now? That's a good tip for being aware of your nutrition.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, it just taking those extra couple of seconds makes all the difference in the world. Okay, so our next point is, and this seems like such common sense, but the people who succeed are the ones that don't wait to get back on track. So when you make a mistake, when you do something that maybe you hadn't planned on doing, or maybe that didn't fit into your plan, you can't give up. You don't have to be perfect. Here comes that word again. We don't expect, no one is perfect. Life is less than perfect. And as coaches, we're here to help you figure it out to get back on track. Um, we can't wait for the perfect situation because it doesn't exist. So if I go and I skip a week of workouts, I can't stop and then just go, well, I just have to quit because I just can't catch up with that. I'm just not going to make it. I have to get back and win that next workout. That's very important because if I wait until the perfect situation comes up, guess what? It's not. There's not the perfect situation. So one of the biggest things for people like us that are in the coaching situation, and the people that are in our group, is that we are the helpers. We are the people that others come to help, and we don't have people to help us. And so I want you to think about that, and I want you to understand that that is what we're here for. We are here to help you figure out how to make it work. We've been there, we've done that, we've helped enough people to know what it takes to get back on track. But the one, and I've shared this before in other situations, our mother was very, she would say, oh, well, if you get up in the morning and you've eaten terrible, you just eat terrible for the rest of the day because you've already blown the day anyway. And that was my whole attitude growing up. And that's not right. It's not. I mean, you don't have to wait. You get back on track as quickly as you can, and you just do the best you can with what you've got. That's just how that works. And please don't hesitate to reach out. You can access us at all times via the app, and just let us know, hey, I need help. I'm struggling with my food. I'm struggling with my workouts. That's what we're here for. So keep that in mind if you're having a bad day.
Through the app, I just want to mention that yes, you have the ability to private message us, either of us, or there's the community group. So, what you message to us individually is not shown in the community. So we have a community group and then a private messaging as well.
And just
Okay.
on that note, I love our community. I love the interaction that we have. I love that everybody's sharing what they're eating and how their workouts are going. And it just it makes me happy to see the interaction because I know how much I struggled in the beginning, not having I had no, and when I very first started this whole journey, I was on my own. I had no one to talk to, no one to go to for advice. And so the community aspect of our program is so important to me because it's something I wish I would have had, when I first started.
Okay. And our next topic is better sleep. And you hear us talk about this so frequently because all of these things go together. All of the things that we are talking about tonight, I mean, they are what I call the six pillars of health. And better sleep, better rest is definitely a pillar. So, what does it mean from? I have a lot to say about this too, so I may look down at my notes every once in a while because I had a lot to write about it. But from a fitness standpoint, better sleep will give you the increased ability to recover. It will make you less sore because your body that's when it's recovering and rebuilding is through the night. So when you're getting that sleep that your body needs, it's working to improve the system. So you'll be less sore and so you'll be more ready for the next workout. From a nutrition standpoint, if you don't get enough sleep, you're going to be short on energy and you're going to crave things that are high in calorie density, such as sugar and fat. And the reason that you crave that sugar and fat is your body is looking for energy. It's looking for something to boost its energy because you're tired. So I don't know if that you've ever noticed that, but I definitely do. If I um, do not get enough rest, I'm very snacky. And I crave carbs, like I want to snack on, crackers or chips or and things like that that I know I don't need to be snacking on. It's not even the proper time to be eating or whatever, but that's why, because my body's tired and it's looking for something that can help boost its energy. When you get better sleep, you'll make better decisions and you will be way more pleasant to be around and for people to hang out with when
Yes.
you're well rested. So, and there's no such thing as perfect sleep every night, but just try to improve your sleep quality. So, maybe you can shut off your phone 30 minutes earlier than what you normally would, or turn off the TV 30 minutes earlier, just so you can start dialing back and trying to get into a good sleep routine. Um, try to sleep early enough that you don't need an alarm clock. That would be nice. If you go to bed early enough that your body just naturally wakes up, then you know that you're rested. And a fact is, if you need more sleep, then probably the rest of your household needs more sleep too. So, anyway, if you improve your sleep by just a 10%, it could be life-changing. And you would see what a huge difference it could make in your cravings and your everyday decisions. So one thing that we say is the 10-3-2-1, and it's 10 hours before bedtime. That's caffeine. So stop caffeine 10 hours before bedtime because caffeine can actually linger in your body for 10 to 12 hours. And some people, it varies about sensitivity. Like I'm just super sensitive to caffeine. So I definitely have to practice that rule if I want to get any sleep at night. 3 hours before bedtime, stop eating so your body has time to digest the food. And when you go to bed, it's not working on digesting your meal, but it's working on healing and cleansing your body instead. If you eat right before you go to bed, your body can't work to heal and cleanse itself because it has to worry about digesting that food that you just took in. 2 hours before bedtime, stop working so your body and mind have time to relax. And 1 hour before bedtime, stop all screens. And that will help. If you develop a routine that you do each night and incorporate these things, you will get into the routine of doing that, and just your sleep quality will get better and better.
Okay, this one is another big one for me is do you need to tell others what you're doing? Um, there's two scenarios for this one. It creates accountability. So if you say, you know, to tell your friend, hey, I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start watching what I'm eating. I'm going to start exercising. That creates a little bit of accountability, but it also creates pressure, which can bring feelings of failure. So if you say, I'm never going to eat meat again, and then you eat something that has chicken in it, and then you feel like that you've completely failed because you said you weren't going to do that, and then you did it, and sometimes it can really hit so hard that that you quit, right? And I'm going to say what I always say, and that's put your head down and do the work. You be you and go hard and don't worry about what everyone else is doing or what they think about what you're doing. It's really, again, none of your business what somebody else thinks of you. So I always say, and I do stick by this, when I first started this way of life, I wanted to tell everybody. because I had no idea the difference that nutrition could make in my life. So when I figured it out, that was what I wanted. I just thought if everybody knows this, then we're all going to be so healthy and it's going to be awesome. And I started telling everybody, my family, my friends, and they were like, "You're crazy." And instead of being supportive, they were extremely negative toward what I was doing. And I know, if knowing what I know now, I would not do that again. I would not tell people what I was doing. I might tell a couple of people, but I would again put my head down and I would do the work. Um, you can call it getting along without going along, and you're building your confidence. And when you have real confidence in what you're doing, that's where the real power comes in, you know. So I encourage you to really be careful and guard yourself, not to set yourself up to be in a bad situation where you feel like you're constantly trying to defend what you're doing and why you're doing it, because it can make you very unhappy and it can make you feel like you're not succeeding the way that you want to succeed.
So that goes perfectly into our last slide. Those who participate have a higher chance of success. And what that means is try to surround yourself with the right people and the right community. And we have that in our program. Our community is like family. So you are surrounded by the right people because we're all on this same journey and same lifestyle. We all have differences and we're all in different places, but we're all here to support each other in a very positive manner. So it's really good to have accountability from people, to be around like-minded people because I agree with what Kim said about, she was so excited and she wanted to tell people that are not on if they're not in a good place and they're not on a health journey, but maybe they're in a not so great place, they're threatened by your newfound fitness and your new zeal to have this healthy lifestyle because they're not on that journey. They know they probably should be. And so you just have to surround yourself with like-minded people. And so for our group, we really want you to participate in the community chat because I learn all kind of things in there. Like I've learned some wonderful recipes that I thought were fantastic. But it really is about just being supportive and all of our weekly group calls, they're recorded. If you've missed them, go back and watch them so you can learn and continue to grow. But I do feel like that it's very important. And I'll say that, um, doing this lifestyle, as much as we have done it for as long as Kim and I have, we still get so much out of our community. We really do. And we thank you guys for
Absolutely.
that.
Yeah.
Yes. And so
Okay, well,
next, I
we
guess, is questions.
is questions and comments. And if anybody has anything, we're almost out of time. But we just need to remember that it's not about being perfect. It's about being present, simple, basic. We're just trying to get there. We're going to repeat. And once it clicks, it becomes a part of who you are. This is not a diet. It will never be a diet. It will always be a lifestyle. Put your head down and do the work. Take care of yourself and be kind because you're worth it. You deserve it. You you deserve to be healthy. You are worth the investment. And don't forget that.
I'll say these are bad things to say. The consistency is compounding. So you have to be consistent even in the little things. It's the little things that are going to make a difference. So consistency is compounding. It's quality over quantity. So good quality workouts. And as Tony Horton always says, do your best and forget the rest. That's my
Yes.
motto.
I love it. I love it. Okay, guys, well, we are almost out of time, so we're going to go ahead and end. Let us know via the app if there's anything that you would like to see us cover. Let us know if you have any questions, or just let us know if we can help you with something. I hope y'all have a good evening.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.